In the heart of a small cluttered room lived Alice, who danced in a world of doom. She spoke of a whale in the stars above, a cosmic creature born of love. This whale, she said, was God in disguise. Its great eyes glowed like moonlit skies. I'll build a catapult to the great unknown, she declared, her voice in a monotone. One day I'll fly on that whale's mighty back and leave Earth behind in a stellar attack. Her dreams were wild, her thoughts untamed, but when it came to action, she'd never be blamed. For though she spoke of grandeur and might, she'd never win in a chessboard fight. A paper bag could trap her inside. Her plans fell apart, nowhere to hide. She called herself Alice, a name so grand, like the girl who walked through Wonderland's land. But unlike the story of curious charm, her adventures would never bring calm. She'd stare at the board pieces in disarray, pondering moves that just wouldn't play. Her knights would stumble, the bishops would fall, a checkmate would come, yet she'd miss it all. The queen, once a symbol of her mighty reign, would simply sit still while she'd strain in vain. Her fingers would hover, but the game wouldn't change, and her ideas, though wild, were always deranged. In her mind, she built castles in space, planned missions that no one could trace. A catapult to launch her to the skies, to ride on the whale with cosmic eyes. She'd talk about launching from an old abandoned pier, to launch her soul far from here. Her thoughts would drift to the cosmic unknown, but her feet remained firmly stuck on her throne. A cardboard rocket was a dream of her past, but even that too could never last. A space station made from mismatched shoes, just more of her plan she'd eventually lose. She'd sit in a room, scribbling away, as if her ideas would somehow save the day. But the clock ticked on and the world spun round, while Alice sat still, her thoughts unwound. She once tried to climb out of a paper bag, but even that effort seemed to sag. The world outside, a mystery to solve, but her tangled thoughts could never evolve. For though her dreams were vast and wide, reality always had a stronger stride. She'd draw lines in the sand, but the waves would come, washing her plans away, leaving them undone. One day, she'd whisper with a hopeful grin, one day, I'll build that ship to spin. But even with each hopeful cry, Alice knew deep down she'd never fly. Her catapult remained just a joke, a fantasy, a dream, a hoax. She'd laugh at herself, a chuckle so wild, a mad grin from the mind of a broken child. And as the years passed by in a blur, Alice would still dream, still conspire, still confer. For in her mind she'd find a way to make the stars bend to her will one day. But for now she sat, lost in thought, a cosmic dreamer who'd never be caught. For she was Alice, mad as could be, a space-bound sailor on a sea of insanity. In her mind, she built castles in space, planned missions that no one could trace. A catapult to launch her to the skies. A catapult to launch the lost in thought. A cosmic dreamer who'd never be caught. For she was Alice, mad as could be, a space-bound sailor on a sea of insanity.